What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Alex. Today I'm going to be talking about Moana 2 in my other review setting. This is the sequel to 2016's Moana. It's been that long. That's crazy. After receiving an unexpected call from her wayfinding ancestors, Moana journeys alongside Maui and new crew to the far seas of Oceania and into dangerous, long lost waters for an adventure unlike anything she's ever faced. I've seen zero marketing for Moana 2, which tells me that Disney didn't have any confidence in this. And what even further cements the fact that they had no confidence in this is that the review embargo lifted today. And overall, I think Moana 2 is fine. This is no way as good as the original one. The thing is with Moana 2 is I think it has a very strong start, has a very strong finish. Everything in the middle is, I don't know what it was. We'll get into it though. What I liked about this movie is that it looks visually stunning. Moana has always looked visually stunning. The colors are vibrant. Every sequence has different colors in it that make the movie come to life. It's very bright. That's what a movie like this should do. It should rely on its animation and its colors to make a world like this come to life. It just gives me those summertime vibes that I feel like we need right now since it gets dark so early and it feels like the cold weather is coming and the cold temperatures are starting to come in Boston. That's all I could think about. I've always said that when I get really cold, I think of Pirates of the Caribbean. But then I was watching this, I was like, oh yeah, Moana. That's a seafaring adventure. I don't think of Frozen. I'm not going to watch Frozen when it's negative 39,000 degrees outside. I'm not going to do that. No, I'm going to watch Moana because it's going to make me think of warm times and ocean and the sea where I want to be. Whether it's Pixar or Disney animation, they've always made every sequence have so many colors in it and make it feel so lively and bright. And that's exactly what Moana 2 does. And when Moana and Maui are on the screen together, it's not that much, to be honest with you. They have some really good chemistry, as they did in the first one. Their banter is back. I really like their working tandem. It felt like a seamless progression for their character dynamic in this sequel. There's also some heartfelt moments that I think worked. There's also some emotional moments that I think worked, especially involving Moana and her little sister. I thought that those were great. Those moments are just few and far between, though. And I guess this is where I'm going to get into my negatives for Moana 2, because, as I said, I think the start of this movie and the end of this movie are both really, really good. I think the setup, what gets Moana to go on her journey with her friends, I think really is a really interesting idea, and where we eventually end up with how it's animated and the action sequences and how much fun I was having at the end, I think really save this movie, along with the animation and the voice acting, from being a complete disaster, because the middle of this movie, Jesus, I was starting to fall asleep. I was literally doing this throughout the middle of the movie. Ugh, like, I don't know how I had the jolt of energy to come back to life and be awake. Like, I felt dead. I felt dead in the middle of this movie, but like, I don't know how I got the jolt of energy to just stay awake for the rest of the movie and see the cool set piece in the third act and where the story ended up when it started to focus up. It felt like somebody grabbed a defibrillator and was trying to revive me or something, because the middle of this movie is easily the part where you could tell that this was chopped up from a Disney Plus show, because originally this was supposed to be a Disney Plus show. And when they announced that, oh no, it got repurposed as a movie, that was an immediate red flag. And that's another, and I mentioned two red flags right off the bat with the marketing. That is another red flag right there. The whole middle of the movie is a bunch of nothingness. The way it's edited, the way the story is structured in the middle of this movie, you can tell that that's where the episodes for the Disney Plus series of Moana we're gonna start and end, because it just feels like we're on a whole bunch of excursions in the middle of this movie that don't correlate or pertain to the main plot of the movie. It just feels like, here's some new characters. Here you go, like this coconut pirate guy who's along for the adventure. I don't need discount Shy Guy from Super Mario to be on this adventure. If I want that, I'll go play the Shy Guy Says minigame on Mario Party. How about that? And then there's this entirely other character that's introduced that kind of they set up as the main villain, but literally goes nowhere. It was one of those things where the setup felt great. It felt like, okay, we're gonna build it up. Her first scene was in the shadows, and then she just goes away for the rest of the movie. And I don't know what happened. Like, what was the point? What was the point? Like, why were we there? Why were we in these moments in Moana 2? Like I said, it's the remnants of the chopped up Disney Plus show that they were going to do for this.
And I don't want to like talk trash about the songs in this because I think the songs are fine, but they're nowhere near as good as they are from the first one. The first one had catchy songs. The first one had songs you could sing along. I didn't get that feeling with this. What I felt like they were trying to do was just recapture the magic of How Far I'll Go, and they didn't. They were trying to make an iconic song like that, and no song in here is going to be as iconic as How Far I Go.
So, yes, Moana looks great visually. It has a strong start, has a strong finish. The colors are very vibrant. The voice acting is there. The set pieces are really, really good. It's got its heartfelt and emotional moments, but those are few and far between. And the entire middle of this movie just feels like an entire excursion that didn't need to happen, and you're questioning what you're even watching and in those moments. I think that the beginning and end of this movie really save it from going completely off the rails. I think that this is a fine enough movie, but the middle is really boring and it was starting to put me to sleep. With that being said, I think Moana 2 is worth watching with half a bucket of popcorn. So there you go. Moana 2, one of the biggest disappointments of the year. Considering how much the first one is beloved and how much I love the first one, this should have been way better. Once they canceled the Disney Plus show, they should have just pushed this thing out and just rewritten Moana 2. They should not have repurposed that as Moana 2. But Dwayne Johnson, probably his damn ego. So that's all I'll say. If you have seen Moana 2, let me know what you think of it in the comment section below. I'll leave my link to my website in the description below as well. You guys are the best. Thank you for watching. My name is Alex Madden, and I'll see you at the movies somewhere.